Peace and blessings to everybody out there. I hope you guys are feeling well. I hope you guys are blessed. And I want to give an honor to my Savior, YAHUSHUA HA'MASHIACH. And I just, I don't want to be on here too long, like I said. I always say that, but I really, truly don't. But I just want to tell you guys the vision that I had and to give you some insight on the vision as well. And, just the dream as well. The dream is just secondary, kind of for encouragement. But give me a second. I'm trying to get comfortable in this seat. Just had to sit. So I had a dream on Saturday, this past Sabbath, and that dream. So I gotta get comfortable. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't a dream. It was a vision. I was watching a sermon. I was in the middle of watching a sermon, and I went into a deep state, and the Most High showed me a vision. Now, what I saw first was evidently clear. It was a bar, like this long bar, fat, thick, chunky bar of gold. Gold. 100% gold. Like, for real, 100% gold. And it was rupturing blood. Blood was like, gushing out of it. And, alongside that, not directly alongside that, but in the midst of it, I saw this American man. He was a Caucasian American dude, and he had this red flannel shirt that was buttoned up, and over that he had some overalls, and he had this sort of old Western hat. Couldn't tell you if it was straw, couldn't tell you if it was cotton. Bottom line was that it was a Western hat, so it could have been cotton or straw. But he also had this long revolver. This long revolver. It was really long, like the Western style revolver. And there was this arc of people, sort of this half circle that was, curved around him. And of course, by me being the person who was seeing the vision, I was actually in the midst of the vision as well. And I was in the same alignment as these people, whom I knew not. And the old Western American dude was in the dead center, and I was in the dead center, a part of that arc that was centered around him. And he took his revolver, and he started shooting. Pow, 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 pow. In like an arc succession. Now, sorry. I still got some remnant of bread. Now the gold meant that the currency is dead, or the currency is about to die, and meaning drop. So the blood represents the bloodshed because of the war that's going to break out, because of the currency dying, all of that, and because of the war is going to be bloodshed. And people are going to be killing each other over money. They're going to be killing each other over riches. They're going to be killing each other over a tin of corn, over a tin of sardines. You know how it is. So this is nothing new, but it's different as opposed to me, being told it by somebody, and then it being confirmed by the Most High in spirit. So it's more disturbing because in essence I get to feel it. So yes, and the American guy represents Uncle Sam, the U.S. Western world. And perhaps maybe the old world, old Western world, um, is about to die. Basically, now this is about to go to rut, and it has it has multiple meanings in it, which is so interesting because when the Most High gives you a vision, it's like, it's never really just, it never really just can be interpreted just one sided. It's like a um a multi-dimensional coin, if that makes any sense, where it has many faces, or should I say many, I don't want to say faces, but many, you know, many sides to it. And that's kind of like how this is, you know. So also, martial law is coming, because I already told you guys in one of my videos that the Most High had revealed to me that martial law is coming. That's going to happen very soon. And then it's reconfirmed with this vision. And that also is what that represents. Now, the American dude, he looked like a humanoid version of Yosemite Sam from Looney Tunes. That's exactly what he looked like. He was dressed, kind of like him and everything. But that's the first thing that came to mind was, oh, he looks like the dude from Looney Tunes. And I looked it up, and it was the exact thing. Like, he had the red beard that was long, like a hillbilly, outlaw, whatever. That's exactly what he looked like. And that obviously represents that, the Western world. And then another word came to mind, or phrase, should I say, in my head. It All I heard was Golden State, and I immediately got scared, and I started praying immediately. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. Well, wait a minute. Before I go there, let me say this. Okay, let me finish up the vision. So after I had seen the American guy, the humanoid looking Yosemite Sam, after that, I saw this sister. She was a black woman, and she had milk chocolate skin, um, maybe like a shade lighter than my skin. And she had gold hoop earrings on. She had a slick, sort of, her hair was slicked back and it was in a ponytail. And then she had this black and white Adidas sweater on. Or I couldn't even tell you if it was Adidas, but it looked like Adidas. 'Cause you know how Adidas has like the stripes going down the side of the arms on a sweater? That's kind of like how it was. But it was black and white. So I couldn't even tell you if, what shirt she had underneath the sweater or what type of pants she had on. But that was all I needed to see. Now, I can't really tell you what the significance of seeing her means. But I know that the Most High commanded me to start praying for her, like, immediately. He just got me up out of my bed, like, literally. Put my hands together, and I was on my face praying. So I knew exactly, like, what it was. Like, I felt it. Like, I felt that this was a time that I needed to pray for, not just that person, but just for all of us. And, yeah, this is something. Now, Golden State is what I heard today when I was praying. Because I asked the Father, I said, please confirm with me, Father, I want to get this right. I want to be able to, relay this message, clearly enough for people to explain. And anyone who has visions or who's had dreams, you already know that the interpretation process is like, it's raw. So, you would have to be in the midst of feeling or experiencing it to be able to really truly understand it, because you get it, you see it. Like, it's one thing to see it, but it's another to interpret it, and then it's another to relay the interpretation. So it's a lot of, it's a process. So I hope I'm doing you justice, Father. And Golden State is what I heard today when I was praying. When I asked the Father to confirm it with me. And I saw the same bar, blood, and I I ended up hearing Golden State, and I knew that that was California. So of course, California, is going to be one of the first states that gets hit. But like I said, it's going to be one of the first states. Texas will be another one. I mean, but like I said, all I heard was Golden State. So Golden State is California. That's where I am. I'm in California. So I was like, woo, and I'm still like, wow, okay, okay, I hear you. And this is the perfect time for them to implement what they're going to implement. And we know what it is, right? So this isn't nothing new, but this is just confirmation that it's going to happen a lot sooner than what we probably expected. And the reason being is because, this lockdown period that people are in right now, we, you have a lot of people who are irritable. You have a lot of people who's been laid off. They're unemployed. They don't really have too much to do, but to keep themselves busy by watching TV, going online, making videos, whatever the case may be. So you have a lot of people who's going to be irritable. They're anxious. They're leery. They don't know when their next meal is going to come. For people who are struggling to pay their mortgage or pay their rent. So that's going to already put people in uptick. Because for one, you have a multitude of people who's used to having something, who's used to doing something on their, their every day-to-day, sort of, life. And that has been brought to a halt. So you have a lot of people who are, agitated. And that brings about civil unrest because these people are people who have worked for the system. Not that I'm saying that there's anything wrong with work for the system, because we all have and still is. But the fact that you have people who have trust the system for everything. So they're not used to just sort of playing the waiting game. You see what I mean? They're used to just kind of, asking questions or not even so much just asking questions, but they're used to just being fed information without actually having to ask or question, because it's almost as if the system has pampered them and given them everything that they wanted. And this is not so in this case. You know what I mean? They're kind of being left to, there's no more formula. They don't know when their next meal is going to come from. It's like a hollering baby who, is looking for the mother's paps, so that the mother can give suck to the child. And that baby just keeps on hollering. That baby just wants that damn pap. So it's just like that. These people don't know when their next, pap is going to come. And that's going to drive them crazy, which brings civil unrest, because you got people who, like I said, who have trusted so heavily into the system, who is going to be let down in the end, and has been let down, and they're going to see that because the Most High is allowing that, and they're going to be mad. Oh, our government did this to us. How could they? How could they? I pay my taxes every year. I did this. I do volunteer work. I do this. I do that. And none of that is going to matter at the end of the day. So yeah, I wanted to say that. So it's coming. It is. It's very, very soon. And the Most High revealed to me years ago, before I was even in the knowledge of the Most High. Like, I wasn't even walking with him, like, for real. But he was already showing me prophetic dreams years ago. And although I knew exactly what they meant, like martial law, I knew that type of stuff, was going to happen eventually. But I was just like, I was ignorant then. And I was reprobate. So I didn't care. I just put it to the back of my mind. I was like, okay, whatever. That ain't going to happen for 10, 20 years, maybe 1,000 years from now. Like, I was thinking like the bigots out there. And, he said that it happens in the middle of the night when people are idle. That's when martial law is going to happen. In the middle of the night, when your body is people are going to be in a tranquilized state. Okay? So, and that's the best time to get up on your enemy. Okay? And that's what they're going to do. That's the best time, is to get people in their idle state when they least expect it. That's what's going to happen, because they already got it worked out and everything. So they're looking for it to be a very, very smooth transition, the smooth operation. But they already know it's not going to be like that, because they got people like us, right, who are already warning people, and then people are already prepared. They already know people buying guns, all that type of stuff. So, they know it's not going to be it's not going to be smooth. It's not going to go like that. Come on now. But it happens in the middle of the night. And I believe in the hours, between the hours of like 2 and 4 o'clock. Between the hours of 2 and 4 o'clock. So, yeah. This was very, very disturbing. But I can understand it, And like I said, it's going to be hell up in Harlem, like they say. My mom used to say that. It's going to be hell up in Harlem. And that's the truth. It's going to be for real. But it has to happen, y'all. It really does. Because in order for YAHUSHUA HA'MASHIACH, our King, our Melech King, to come back and to restore everything back, well, not back, but to restore it and revitalize it and bring it to bring about New Jerusalem, should I say? Let me just say that. Bring about New Jerusalem. Babylon has to fall. This has to fall. This old way has to be done away with. It has to be dead. It has to be dead. It has to. It has to perish. And, all I can say is that we have to pray for one another. We have to stand fast. We have to stay strong. And I do want to share with you a few scriptures, and then I'll share the dream, and then I'm done. This is synonymous with the vision that I had. Like I said, people are going to be scrummaging around doing all that type of stuff, because these are people who, like I said, who have had it on a silver platter, who've been fed on a silver platter. And this is Proverbs 11 and 28. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of the heart. And that's the truth. Proverbs 23, verse 4. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. 5. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. That's the truth. So, all these people who's putting their faith, in their riches, they're pompous, they prideful, they're self-righteous, they're self-proclaimed, oh, I got a lot of money, I got this, I got that. Those are going to be the same people, the same ones. Because that's why it says, for riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven, because they'll be here today and gone tomorrow. That's the problem. And we need to put all of our faith and trust solely in YAHUSHUA HA'MASHIACH. That's it. Because he is our refuge. He is all that we need and more. Another one. I mean, like I said, these are all indicative to the vision. Luke 12 and verse 15. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of things which he possesseth. That's the truth. It's not, your life doesn't revolve around what you own. what you own. Your life doesn't revolve around what you own, so you're gonna have to let it go. That's why he said, pray that your flight is not in the day of the time of the winter, or it's not on the Sabbath. And woe to those who give suck in those days, who are with child and who give suck in those days. And those who are up on their hilltops, do not, on the high tops of their houses, do not come down to get your belongings. Nothing like that. You see what I mean? But those are going to be those same people, okay, who are going to be scrummaging around, you know what I mean, trying to salvage what they can. Oh, I need to take me these nice boots. I can probably trade these. I need to get me this nice coat. This is real leather. You know, stuff like that. And that's ridiculous. Because your life doesn't revolve around that. At the end of the day, the Most High is not going, he doesn't care about that. He wants to know, are you prepared and are you ready to be married to the groom? Verse 22 says, and he said unto his disciples, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, neither for your body, what ye shall put on. The life is more than meat, and the body is more than raiment. Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse or barn, and God feedeth them. How much more are ye better than fowls? Come on now. He gonna give you all that you need. All you gotta do is trust in him. That's it. That's all he's asking you to do, is trust in him. That's it. You know, and I feel like, you know, people have a hard time doing that. You know, they put too much faith in man, too much faith in this world, and this is the same system, the same world that's going to let them down. And they're going to be the same ones crying boo hoo 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 hoo. Oh God, when all the calamities really start hitting, they're going to be like, oh God. That's the first name that everybody yell out. Oh my God. That's the first name. And ain't that something though? That's the first name we call out to our Father when we in dire situation. Oh my God. Oh God. That's the first thing they say. The first thing they say. But you ain't never mentioned God that one time. I'm stopping. I'm not about to go there. But let me get on to the dream. Okay, so that same night when I went to bed, after I would say like maybe an hour, maybe even two after I had the vision, I had a dream. So the dream, in the dream, I went to, now this was a so-called friend, this is one of my so-called best friends who actually betrayed me, you know, wants to target me, all that type of stuff. So I call him the treacherous one. So my treacherous so-called friend at the time, he's in this dream, and I'm at his house, and, well, no, I'm at his brother's house. We went to his brother's house, and he's on the left side, him and his brother's on the left side, and I'm on the right side along with their cousin. Now, the only reason why I said their cousin was because, and I'm more than sure that probably wasn't their cousin, but I'll explain why. But the only reason why I sort of presumed that it was his cousin was because, or should I say their cousin, was because he had this sort of familiarity with them, and they had a sense of familiarity with him, as if they knew each other. And that's just kind of what I assumed, you know, looking back, kind of reflecting on it. I'm just like, oh, that was their cousin. That's what it seemed like, because everybody was sort of familiar with everyone in the room. Now, for whatever reason, the brother was sitting on the left side of me, and we're on the couch. My treacherous so-called friend is sitting, you know, in the far left at the table, and then the cousin is sitting on the right side, on my side, like I said, on, like, in a love seat. And the brother, for whatever reason, is trying to get me to sleep with him. And he's trying to coerce me into going into his room, which is like straight ahead. And for whatever reason, I kept on declining. I'm like, no, no, no. Now, I can't tell you how I got out of that apartment. But I made it downstairs, and I ended up at the car with the cousin, and I asked him to take me home. And it was a white car. Not that that has any significance, but I just wanted to say, you know, it was a white car, or maybe it does. But I got in the car and I told him, I said, hey, can you take me home? Because I'm tired of this. Like, I said, like, his brother's on some freak shit. You know, and excuse my language, but that's exactly what I said. I'm just being completely honest. And please forgive me. But that's exactly what I said. You know, he's always trying to do this, you know, every time, like, we all, you know, get together, all this type of stuff. I was just lamenting. You know, he never said nothing. But it was like, his expression was like still, it was still welcoming to this, in the sense where it was okay. He was okay with hearing me out. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he wasn't trying to hear what I had to say. So then, after I had said what I said, he pulled out a piece of paper, and it was a white piece of paper, and he wrote on it the word cool, COOL. Okay, and I and then he wrote cool, right? He wrote cool, and he looked at me, and he smiled, and he shook his head like that, and then he gave me mangled ball of a mangled ball, and in it was $5 intertwined with this yellow mustard graph paper. You know, like the graph paper that they used to give us in school, you know, with all the lines on it. It was the graph paper for geometry. And I took I unraveled the $5 out of it, and I knew exactly what it meant, and that was like the end of the dream. I woke up. But, of course, when I woke up, I was like repenting, because I was in a state of repentance. I'm like, Father, please forgive me. Like, you know, but then he explained to me that that was an angel. And I was like, what? I was like, what? But I understand it now. And now I understand why he used a face that was unfamiliar to me. Because if it probably was a face that was familiar to me, knowing their family, you know, who knows what would have happened. I don't know. But I understand it. It had to be somebody that, but even then, I was so familiar with that person, even though I don't know him. I've never seen his face before. So I know it was a spirit. That's why I said not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. So I knew he carried the Most High Spirit in him. He was an angel that was sent in my dream to protect me and guard me. He was there. That's why we was on the same side. We was in alignment on the same side, on the right side. On the right side. And they was on the left side. That was Satan over there. And the Most High was over here. His angel was. Making sure to guide me. And the word cool he wrote on there was a sign of, an expression of admiration. And it has multiple meanings to it, which I'm going to get into in a minute. But for the most part, it meant cool, like, you know how you say, like, oh, cool, cool. And it was a sense, you know, because the Most High communicates with you in ways where you can understand it. You know what I mean? That's why I love him. Like, he ain't gonna have you sitting up there looking crazy. You know what I mean? Just looking crazy. He ain't gonna have you sitting up there just looking crazy. But I sorry, let me plug this charger in. So I knew that it meant um cool. Like, it was a sign of admiration. Like, good job, you didn't give in to temptation. Good job. Like, you didn't, you passed the test. Like, that's what it meant. And of course, it cool spelled backwards is Luke, Looc. So of course, I went and looked. I was looking in Luke, and I found a scripture which was indicative to what it meant backwards. And I'm not going to share it because I feel like that was for me, so I understand it. But the $5, of course, 5 represents grace. So they knew that the Most High knows that I understand the numerology. So, of course, the $5 meant grace. So that meant that you're saved and covered by grace. Because when you have faith, which is the size of a mustard seed, which why the color of the graph paper was yellow, the grace, or the $5 was mangled with it. When you have faith, grace is covering you. And basically, I was saved by grace. He's like, and it's assurance that you saved by grace. And it's amazing. Like, I can't tell you, like, I feel amazing to know that the Most High is protecting me, even in the spiritual realm, you know. And I want to encourage all you guys out there, you know, this is the time where the enemy's gonna be attacking a lot of us, like 24/7 in the spiritual realm to try to bring about, you know, us sinning in the physical realm. But just don't give into it, you know. Just stand on faith, you know. I know it's hard, but trust and believe. We are covered in His blood. We are covered in His blood. Absolutely. YAHUSHUA HA'MASHIACH. He is our. He's our intercessor. He's our king. He's our father. He's our nurturer. He's everything that we need. We don't need nothing else. So that's the message that I have to send to everybody today, is that you don't need nobody else but YAHUSHUA HA'MASHIACH, our king. Our king, that's it. When you covered in his blood, they can't touch you. They can't touch you. Now, the Most High will allow for tests to happen, but you know, we gotta hold our peace, because I know sometimes, you know. Oh, and that's also what it meant too. Like cool it down, because I know that I was like, my temper had flared up because I was so mad that the brother was doing that, and I knew that that's for future references. Like, in reality, like, you need to just like chill out, just calm down. Like, you don't have to be so explosive. Like, you don't have to be explosive with your expression or to react. You don't have to be so reactionary to the point where it's explosive. You can't contain your emotions. So I know that that's what that meant as well. So, you know, it's amazing. Like, and I'm still thinking about it now. It's amazing. Like, I was like, wow, so that was an angel. Literally, that's why he never said nothing. Literally, just his expression alone, he was just like the overseer. Literally, the overseer. Making sure that it was amazing. I can't even, wow. Like, I'm still amazed by it. Like, y'all, it's amazing. But that vision, though, now that was something. It was something, you know, and like I said, you know, that's coming and it has to happen, you know. But I'm not trying to push fear or anything like that. You think I want to get on here and tell y'all this stuff? I don't, because you know, I'm always sort of, you know, apprehensive about the backlash that I'm gonna get. Like, oh, you ain't doing nothing, no way. But it don't matter, no way. I mean, because they manipulated my channel, and they manipulated a lot of you guys' channels as well, you know. And but it's like, you know, even just still, just people in general. And my block finger is like really, really, really tricky. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can block you in a second. It's very, very quick. Like, for real. Because I don't got time for trolls. I don't got time for them people. Like, I will block you in a second. Like, I believe in trying to hear you out. But if you got something so ignorant and asinine to say, I'm going to block you and I'm going to get rid of you. That's it. But that's all I wanted to say. Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Like I said, I'm not spreading fear. I'm not doing any of that. But I have to say what does say it, the Most High. And that's it. But be leery, steadfast, pray. This is a time that we all need to put on sackcloth. This is a time we all need to be lamenting. We all need to be atoning for our sins, asking for forgiveness. All of us, me included. And we need to love on each other as much as possible, because it's going to get very, very hard. Very, very hard. And scarcity is coming all around the world. And you got to know who you're going to trust. And the only one that you can trust is YAHUSHUA HA'MASHIACH. And this is going to be a test of faith. This is going to be the real test of faith, where you're going to really see where people's faith lies. When they want to sit up there and talk about and boast about how much faith they got, you're going to see exactly where their faith lies. And, yeah. Peace and blessings, y'all. Steadfast. I love you. And this is an amazing time. Amazing time. And be strong. We warriors, y'all. We are warriors. Come on now. We can't give up now. We didn't already signed up for it. Bring it. I'm out.